All right, well, we're back live. News has dropped. Brooks Raley has been acquired from the Rays. The Mets are now getting their lefty reliever. We don't know if it kicks him out for Chafin, but Brooks Raley is quite the arm. For those who don't know who this guy is, we'll get into the description in a second. But the Mets need bullpen help, and this definitely is good bullpen help. Years of control. He's 34 years old. We'll get into it after the intro. Brooks Raley has been acquired from the Rays in exchange for Jon Heyman, pitching prospect. I think we're just gonna stay live for the rest of time at this point. So this is our third live stream in the span of, I'd say, the last 14 hours, whatever. But Brooks Raley is now a New York Met. We've needed bullpen help. We know that Brooks Raley is a good arm. He's got fantastic stuff. This guy knows how to manage contact. He knows how to get strikeouts. He's got an incredible balance, and he's also a lefty. He's one of those rare lefties who is, one of those guys who can be completely dominant, knows how to locate. He's a incredibly balanced pitcher to the even bigger extent. I'm happy about this. Obviously, there's still some work that needs to be done. But Brooks Raley is coming to the Mets in exchange for Jon Heyman, pitching prospect who has not pitched above high A yet. Very young, nasty stuff, incredible arm slot. He's a lefty, so he could turn into Brooks Raley down the future, especially with the Rays pitching development and how well they do that. We like Jon Heyman. I think he's good. Obviously, he's got some control issues, stuff like that. Things that younger pitchers go through. It happens. But for those of you in the chat right now, for those of you watching right now, let us know what you think about this trade. If you don't know about this guy, he's a nasty reliever, one of those guys that flies under the radar. He's not a household name, but he gets he gets it done. He's quite the reliever, and I'm glad they added him. Hopefully, maybe he is one of the back-end guys, but if he's middle relief, that means that they bring in some other guys. So Brooks Raley has been acquired by the Mets. How do you feel about this? My lovely co-host.
I called this in November that he was going to be a Met, and I fortified it when that rumor of the Mets and the Rays, I'm like, Brooks Raley is going to be a Met. And then it went quiet, and then boom, now Brooks Raley is a Met. We'll start with Askew because I think that's the point where nobody knows who he is. People somewhat know who Brooks Raley is. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rays turn him into Brooks Raley now. And the Mets are in win now mode. So, yes, a Brooks Raley down the line would be very nice to have a young, controllable version. But the Mets right now need a high leverage. And if he is high leverage, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd love him in that seventh inning role or just be a lefty. He murders left-handed pitching. I'll bring the numbers up throughout the strip maybe a little bit later. I think it's a $155, a 205 on base, and a 288 slug against left-handed hitters last year. So, and a 35% K rate. So he's Aaron Loop. If the best way to put it for Mets fans, he's a better version of Aaron Loop was with the Mets. He's that filthy. Will he have the season of Aaron Loop? Who knows? Aaron Loop had a godly year. But getting him out of the American League East, that usually tends to help pitchers. And he is filthy. And, there's been a pitching ninja video of his slider. Like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is a left-handed reliever we've needed for the last 3 years, it seems like, ever since, or 2 years since Aaron Loop left. That, it's not Joely Rodriguez, which is, again, already upgrade over Joely here. And it's completely night and day. A guy that controls the strike zone, can manage contact, and actually throw strikes and not walk the ballpark like Joely did. But for me, and the other opponents, very good MLB The Show card, so going to add him to the all-time Mets team. It's going to be great. But Keyshawn Askew, again, could be down the line a very valuable piece for Tampa Bay. That's what they do. But the Mets right now need a win now, and especially what the cost of the reliever market is, to get a nasty, high leverage if needed lefty for $4 million. You're not getting that this year. So it was smart for Epler to go out in the trade market, trade Askew for this guy, for Chafin, for Brooks Raley. Probably takes him out of Andrew Chafin. I mean, I wouldn't mind both, but I'd probably expect him to be out of Chafin. But I think this maybe adds faith of potentially adding a couple of high leverage righties. If that's bringing out Avino in, or bringing him back, or bringing in, name any other righty reliever, Alex Reyes, Chad Green, take your pick. But it gives the Mets, now you spent cheap for the high leverage lefty. Now you can maybe splurge a little bit more on maybe 2 right-handed high leverage guys. Maybe more. Maybe they're in Chafin. They're in win now mode, but for me, this was a pleasant surprise. I love Brooks Raley, and again, now you have a bullpen. You're starting to see some disgusting stuff with him, Diaz, Dayoka. Like, this bullpen is starting to turn like, ooh, there's some disgusting stuff in that pen.
And then there's Drew Smith. But all I can say right now is that they just opened so much flexibility for bullpen additions, and also bats, which we haven't even seen yet, right? We haven't even seen any bats. They opened so much flexibility for those places that we can address. Of course, they addressed a rotation spot with only $13 million. They just addressed their lefty, their left-handed reliever, Brooks Raley, who is one of the best in the game. In my opinion, probably the best lefty reliever in the game. So, who's better? I mean, who is better?
I mean, you put me on the spot here. I'm not lefty.
Who's
I mean, they
better?
got
Josh Hader? Get out of here.
The guy from San Diego is pretty good. No, but again, he plays for Tampa Bay, so nobody's going to give him the credit because he plays for Tampa Bay. Nobody watches their game. Nobody goes to their games. But again,
I think he's
still
the best. I think he's the best.
He's up there, and I mean, you're putting me on the spot here. Give me a few minutes, maybe I can think of a couple.
And we have the best right-handed reliever too. So
we got that's pretty. I mean, now maybe you can now trade for the guy in Chicago.
I mean, you have the flexibility to do it, but this also opens up, more possibilities of, maybe they can go that extra year with Nimmo. Maybe they can go that extra AV with Nimmo. That's a possibility. We saw something about Trevor Williams being interested in a reunion as well. I'd love to add him as a swingman in the bullpen because I don't really trust Eliezer Hernandez to be that type of guy. Even though he does have some upside, I'm not full on like, oh, this is our guy.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing. With this Brooks Raley acquisition, this still continues the streak. We have not gotten a single position player, not even minor league deal, not even anything. I mean, what have we done? We have not done a single thing from the Steven Ridings moves.
No, they brought back Vogelbach. That's your bet.
Well, again,
that's a move. Pick up the option.
Yeah, no, external moves, shall we say. From the Steven Ridings moves, the William Woods moves.
Oh, I forgot about the writing. Dude, the stuff in this pen could be nasty. Like,
I mean, it's gonna be nasty.
They're building like an arm bar.
And a lot of these guys, before they're coming to the Mets, they fixed their control issues wherever they were. So this is gonna be something. I'm excited for a lot of these weapons here. Obviously, they are have their some of these guys have their injury histories. Whatever. That's just how pitchers are. How would I rate this trade? A 10 out of 10. Perfect 10 out of 10. This is beautiful. Beautiful.
I think, I'll make it easy. I'll make it easy for the fans to I'm a big boy, so I like food. Brooks Raley is like Chick-fil-A. Like, he's just the top of the line. Maybe, a lot of people, I mean, more people don't know Chick-fil-A, but like, he's the top of the line. Andrew Chafin is like Popeyes. Very good, but Brooks Raley's better. Like, if you're taking who you picking, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes, you pick Chick-fil-A. Like, and he's in the contracts, especially $10 million is attached to Brooks Raley. That's going to be 1 year of Andrew Chafin on this market. This was Ep Dog seeing the market and saying, I can pivot, get a guy who's a little older, but his stuff is better for 2 years compared to paying $26 million for Andrew Chafin, most likely. Like, and it gives you the ability. Hey,
here's
if
how
Liam, what?
No, here's how I see Brooks Raley. He's got starter command and starter a starter repertoire with starter command with reliever type of stuff. Like, that's how I look at it. And like, this can be an incredible pickup for the Mets, and I think it is, especially with a lefty. We've been clamoring for that lefty. I'm so happy. I really am. I love this move so much. I don't think a lot of people, they look at, the outside of guys who they don't really know who they are. This is one of those guys that it's like, this is an elite level talent here that nobody talks about. The fact that everyone allowed the Rays to get him is scary. But the fact that we got him now from the Rays, they're just willing to give him up for a guy who has not proven really much. He's 19, 20 years old. So, I mean, I'm happy with this. I really like it.
And again, it gives you the flexibility now. You want to give the extra money to Nimmo? Do you want to maybe make a trade with the, I keep saying the Mets are looking to, you should have added that. The Mets are interested in moving Ruff. Who cares to an extent? Somebody will tell you.
Everyone wants to move Ruff. He's terrible.
He's dog poop. But now it does have a conversation of, if the White Sox are willing to move Liam Hendriks, like that is what, there's rumors that they would move him. Could they pivot there? Like, there's an option there. Like, it's a big money contract for a reliever. But if you look at the market, would you rather pay $13 million for Adam Ottavino or $16 million for Liam Hendriks? It starts to make sense, especially with this reliever market. Like, it's 2 years of Liam Hendriks or 2 years of Adam Ottavino, like, or 2 years of Alex Reyes or David Robertson. Like, take your pick. Like, this deal helps the Mets. Not just you're getting a great pitcher, you can now add you got a cheaper version of what you were looking for on the free agent market. So if the Mets can just go in any which ways, you want to take this extra money to give it to Nimmo? You want to give this extra money to Senga? Do you want to go trade for another elite arm in the pen to have Diaz, Raley, Hendricks, a couple of the young guys like Writings and Dayoka who could potentially be flash high-end stuff and potentially be a future back end of the bullpen? This move, not only just because it's a great player, it's great financially because you're not paying anything. You're not paying market value for Andrew Chafin. Can you pull up Andrew Chafin's actual market value?
Andrew Chafin's market value is pretty much at like,
not Chafin.
10 million.
Not Chafin, Raley. Can you pull up Raley's market value?
Well, those are only for the free agents, I think, but
but whatever. But he's
making.
Yeah, it's $4 million.
It's $4 million to. It's 4.5 million. No, $5 million to the luxury tax.
Yeah, and you know what? If he does suck, which we don't expect, the second year of the deal is a team option. The Mets can get out of it. So there is nothing wrong with this trade. It's the biggest dub the Mets have taken in a trade in a while. Usually, look at the Bias trade, they took an L. You look at Darren Ruff trade, they took an L. Vogelbach was a neutral. Givens, who cares? Like, this is the first time in a while the Mets have won a trade, and like on paper, and it can be a massive dub. So, again, I love it. Brooks Raley, welcome, and we'll see what's next in the bullpen. Like I said earlier in the stream, I thought they'd pivot to the bullpen. They pivoted straight to the bullpen. They got their 2 starters. They were going to move to the pen, and we'll see if they add a couple high leverage righties.
Yeah, I really do love the move, and I really think that, you need to get one of these lefties, but they have to be able to face righties and lefties. Like, they have to be able to do that. This guy has that type of breaking stuff where you can just completely destroy, any batter possible. The man is disgusting. I cannot believe they just did this. This is a really good move, and I think, I think a lot of Mets fans need to see it in action first.
Yep.
But yeah, I love it. I think it's a great move.
I'm just checking Twitter if there's anything
For those
else.
watching right now, we got about 30-ish people in here. Hit the like button. Be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. We got episode 1 of the Mets podcast coming out on
Continues
Sunday.
to be loaded now. You got more and more topics to talk about.
Yeah, it continues to be full unloaded because I don't even know if we'll be able to go for an hour. Might have to go for 2 hours for the
old school
premiere episode. And they are all available on the listening platforms below us.
Follow us on TikTok
well.
for shorts and all that.
TikTok as well. I do some shorts.
Once we hit 1K subscribers, we'll make the OnlyFans, and you guys can have that as well. But that's down the line.
That is very inappropriate and not funny at all.
That is very funny. You're smiling.
Okay.
Anything again? This stream shouldn't be long because again, we're just kind of talking.
We'll ride it out for 15, 20 more minutes, and then
if you guys have any questions about Raley, about what's next, drop them in the comments. If not, we'll see. So we're just waiting to see if any other winter meetings news will drop. Bogarts looks to be close with Boston, though. I have seen that.
Okay.
What the hell is this guy talking about? This guy, dude, Twitter is so stupid sometimes. People really are very stupid on Twitter.
You don't have to tell me.
People being like, "Oh, why are you giving?" You don't even. That's the other thing with people. You don't even know who Keyshawn Askew is, and you're bitching about him. I've already seen 4 people bitch about Keyshawn Askew. You don't even know who he was until his name was brought up today. Stop lying to yourself. Could he be great down the line? Yes. In Tampa Bay, they're a pitching factor. Yes. He has a major walk problem. One thing Brooks Raley doesn't. If you're
an
bitching
injury
and
problem
complaining,
as well.
If you're bitching and complaining about this move and saying, "Oh, we should have signed Chafin," I can't. You think this is our main left-handed pitcher coming out of the pen? I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe try to add another a low. And I hate this. And this name came out during the winter meetings. A buy low candidate on guys like, guys that Mets fan will love. Brad Hand's going to get paid. But if there's a Zach Britton on a buy low, I wouldn't be surprised if Britton, they've had links to Chapman. I don't want that to happen. But I could see them doing a buy low 1-year deal on a lefty. Another guy, maybe an Alex Faccia or whatever the hell his name is. Isn't he a free agent? So I could see them doing something like that. I could see them giving Josh Walker or David Peterson the extra starter long man in the spot. So I wouldn't be surprised, but again, if this is the first move in the pen with Diaz, the Mets have hit 2 for 2 with relievers this year in free agency and re-signings. But I hope they're not done. I would like to have 2 lefties, and I hope that second lefty isn't David Peterson, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't add maybe one more maybe a low risk, high reward, Adam Ottavino type deal like last year. I hope they do that too for lefties and righties. But, who do you want in the setup role? I've got to make it clear. I kind of want, if that Liam Hendricks rumor is true, I kind of would love to see them go out and try to get Hendricks like the Braves did with Iglesias. I would love that. But of the guys who are available, I guess Ottavino coming back is now Suarez off the board, Nick Martinez off the board, Kenley off the board, which you never had interest in. I would seriously consider with the White Sox if they're willing to move them. I'd think about it. I would, because especially with them using Diaz, we saw this year, Diaz is technically the closer, but they're willing to use Diaz in other spots. And I would much rather have Liam Hendricks be that second closer than Adam Ottavino, because Adam Ottavino was not great in the save situation. I think he was 50% at save getting the save. He was was it 4 for 8 or 3 for 6, something like that? He wasn't locked down. Neither was Seth Lugo. So
yeah,
I would love them to go out and explore what it would cost. And if it's like the Braves getting Iglesias for nothing, I'd jump on it. I think it would cost more because Hendricks is actually a good pitcher, which Iglesias was once he left Anaheim, of course. But if I'm the Mets, you save a little money here, $13 million for Adam Ottavino or $16 million for Liam Hendricks. I think that's an easy answer for me.
I don't know. We'll see what they do because we don't know where this flexibility is going to go. And
Yeah.
like, I am kind of nervous to see what they do, but I don't know. We'll see.
Is
Again,
Lugo
it's gonna.
we got, what else you got?
But other than that, I mean,
Is
Lugo a starter
Lugo
next season? I don't see that happening. I don't know why teams
I
are
could see a
looking
team
for
like
that.
I could see a team like Kansas City maybe try to turn him into a starter. It's like a rebuilding team to try to trade him at the deadline. I could see that, but in regards to the outfield, if we lose Nimmo. Baltimore is no longer hey, go trade their bad players. They're winning. They're going to be a winning team. So anyone on Baltimore, I like the idea. Probably not. They like Cedric and they would like, I mean, they probably want to move him to left. I think they're in on Nimmo too. So they're not like, I could see it. It does make sense, but I don't think Baltimore is at the time anymore. We're like, oh, Baltimore is a good player. They're going to trade him. Like, no, they're going to try to contend next year, try to make the playoffs. Mothman, again, he is a very good reliever. So we'll go for like another 8 minutes, and then we'll call it a day. Unless you guys have any other questions you guys want concerned. Again, we might have a third stream. We did this on Black Friday. Last year. 3 deals in one day. I wouldn't be surprised. The winter meeting's moving, and today and tomorrow are going to be. You're going to start seeing some action because these are the last 2 days of the winter meetings. The conversations have been had. You saw the judge's decision. You've seen Kenley. You've seen, obviously, the Verlander was the beginning of the winter meeting. So you're going to start seeing some more moves. We'll see if the Mets make any more moves. They're still in on pitching, I think.
There's still some big fish out there. So
there's still some fish out there. The shortstops all got to drop it. Bogarts, Correa, Swanson. Nemo's probably not going to be for a while. Senga, Bassett, like the same thing, probably won't be for a while. So, again, we still got some moves to be made. But, again, Mets are being opportunistic. And again, kind of with the Mets, no leaks of what they want besides Justin Verlander. Unless it was like Scherzer got leaked. But Marte, Canha, and Escobar, we knew nothing before that happened. Boom. Chris Bass, the same thing. We knew nothing about it. Boom, the trade's dropping. So the Mets are doing a good job of keeping their rumors and who they're interested in deals quiet until they're official. So, again, we don't know. So we don't know what else Zepler's got under his sleeve.
I think they've done a good job as to just just keeping it under and everything. I mean, yeah, you talk about this stuff on your channel? No, you don't, because he doesn't want to flex.
No, I don't flex. I'm not. I just show it off, and then you guys ask questions. I'll answer the questions. But this isn't. This is my
just to piss me off.
This is the man cave. This isn't my stuff. Is in the other room. This is my dad's stuff. So yeah, just got some nice stuff. But again, I don't want to flex. It's just like the background looks cool, but I appreciate it. Maybe I'll do it once I hit once maybe down the line maybe. But I don't like flexing. I'm not a big flexer. Appreciate that, right?
You're less humble than you think you are.
I am very humble. What are you talking about? I'm a very humble man. Unless I'm around you, then I just love beating you up. It's fun.
You're a dick.
So, all right, guys, we have any other questions, concerns, comments? Brooks Raley, Mets, non-Mets, and if not, we will probably call in about 5 minutes. So 5 minutes. If you guys have any other Mets fans,
maybe another 6 hours.
6 hours? Nah, I'm gonna go to Walmart, bro. You can do 6 hours straight. I'm going to Walmart, but see it last. Do a nice little last second Twitter refresh.
Here's your updated version.
Oh, did you update with Ruff or whatever?
I got some other stuff on here.
The Mets now announced the deals are official between Verlander and Quintana, and the Brooks Raley is now official. Who? The boys that we signed.
All right.
So that the updated. We got it. There's a wait for the update. Deadline. I truly believe Nimmo would be a Met already if he wasn't represented by Scott Boras. Yeah, that is
very. That is true. Yeah.
It's a factual tweet, but
Yeah, it's factual.
it's very factual. Maybe he kind of would have been like Diaz. What's the number? Okay, let's get the number. Yeah, now the Mets have blown past the number, incentivized by Steve Cohen, and Cohen seems to keep spending on guys like Nimmo and Senga if they want. They have very few committed past 2024. Yep. Again, that's why they want to be flexible. They want to be flexible every year. They don't just want to lock. They don't want to be the Phillies. Everybody's locked up, and that's your team going forward. You can't make any improvements. That's your team locked in.
There we go.
Mets don't want to be that. So, all right. So, unless you got any final words, I think we've hit that dead spot. Unless you have any final words about the future, Brooks Raley or the channel.
Yeah, we'll run it for a few more minutes.
We're just shitting and chatting here. This is what's wrong with you trying to milk.
We are sitting in silence right now, but that's just how.
Oh,
that's how
actually,
this works.
Yeah, a bunch of shit. Holy crap! Fucking added a bunch of shit. But there you go. Benintendi, Chafin. There you go. There's all of your Darren Ruff, which can be moved because it's only $3 million. You can attach him in a trade. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just attached to the trade, the next Ep-Dog trade. So he's easier to move than most people think. And yeah. You got anything?
You know, Darren Ruff's a great clubhouse guy. Everybody wants him, you know.
Great clubhouse leader. And supposedly hits left-handed pitching, which I was told. I didn't see that, though.
Haven't seen that.
Supposedly he's supposed to be amazing against left-handed pitching. So, Kansas City, you guys want him? I'm trying to think who else.
You can have Khalil Lee back.
They can get Khalil Lee back. You want him? Take him. Goodbye. So the Yankees are going on Rodon, whatever. But yeah. So.
All right.
It's that time to pull the plug.
All right.
Well, outro this time since I had it last night.
We're probably going to be live again.
Probably.
I just know we are. The Mets are going to make a move right as we get off, I'm sure. So, other than that...
Nice.
Other than that, for those of you watching right now, for those of you watching on playback, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications. We got stuff coming out every single day, whether it's shorts / TikToks, / videos / live streams like this, and then also a podcast every single Sunday on this YouTube channel, and also available on the platforms that you see below us. More unfiltered version of each episode. So, tons to come. This is the third big-ish move, I'd say, of the winter meetings for the Mets. We don't know if they're done for the winter meetings, but we'll see. Tons to come. Still tons of things to address in free agency, on the trade market, stuff like that. So we will be here to cover all of that once it happens. For those of you who haven't liked the stream, like it. It's free. Go ahead. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Let's go Mets for the Mets fans out there. And, yeah, Brooks Raley's a Met, and I'm happy. You happy too?
Yes, sir.
All right. Whoops.